DJN
Hey guys, welcome to another exciting edition of DJ MTV Daily News Update. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, depending on the time zone at which this video got to you. If this is your first time of seeing any of our video or you're a returning subscriber, please do not forget to go a step further, like this video, share and subscribe to all our channels. You can also check us out on our website www.djmtv.news. Let's go straight up into the main news. Max Air and LPs to commence evacuation of Nigerians this week, says Onyeama. Hey guys, this is still DJMTV Daily News Update. The federal government, through the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Nigeria, Onyeama, has announced that the indigenous Nigerians airline, Air Peace and Max Air will this week begin the evacuation of Nigerians who have safely crossed the Ukraine borders into neighboring countries. This was made known in a video we are about to watch when Onyeama, the Minister of Nigerian Foreign Affairs, stated that those who are able to make their way out of Ukraine would be evacuated beginning from Wednesday this week. The minister in the video also said that the evacuation flight to Nigeria is expected to commence from Ukraine's neighboring countries via Air Peace and Air Mass. According to him, there are about 5,600 Nigerian students in Ukraine and a total of around 8,000 Nigerians in all. Let's watch the video. We'll be right back.
About 5,600 students, and that if you add other Nigerians, that it'll be around 8,000. First of all, we are in touch with the ambassador in Ukraine and his staff, and directed them to set up a hotline for the Nigerians in the Ukraine and to maintain contact with them, giving them advice as to what they should be doing and how they should stay safe. Then in addition to that, we are in constant contact with the ambassadors and diplomatic missions around Ukraine. So we have Poland, of course, Hungary, Romania, Slovakia, and Russia. And because once the people started moving to the borders, because obviously the airspace was shut, so the possibility of moving in and evacuating Nigerian citizens was no longer there. And of course, the Russians were actually targeting some of the airfields. So the next phase was to get the Nigerians to the borders, the closest borders, as safely as possible, and to evacuate them to the capitals and to send and then to begin an airlift. So we've done that. We got the embassies to send staff to the border points in those countries I've mentioned, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Slovakia, and assist the Nigerians who are coming through, arrange shelter for them, and also food for them. So this is being done. You can imagine it's a bit chaotic, the whole arrangements, the panic and so forth, and disorganized. And of course, there have been the, very distressing news of maybe some discrimination. It was being claimed that Nigerians being turned back at the border. Initially, it was that Nigerians were not being allowed across the border by Ukrainian border guards. So I called the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine. I was actually surprised to get him because, in the situation in which they're in, but he took my call and we spoke at length, and I communicated to him the great concern of the federal government that this might be happening and that it was totally unacceptable. He said no, that the directives that the border guards had were to allow foreigners to go through unimpeded, and that the only restrictions were on Ukrainian male between the ages of 18 and 60. So he said he'll come back to me just to verify again and to reassure me. And he called 15 minutes or so later, and he said, and he wrote it actually, that it's official, it's confirmed that these are the directives, and this is what the border guards have been directed to do. So as I said, we arranged for the embassy officials to go to the borders and start ferrying Nigerians to the capitals. And in the meantime, here in Abuja, we started organizing for the airlifts. Wanted to know from all those countries how many Nigerians had now crossed the border and were now in those various countries. So as of today, we were hoping that maybe we will be able to get the flights out by today, but we needed to be sure of the numbers, because obviously, the planes would need to know, so to know which size planes to deploy and so forth. So we made Romania the hub, and so there are about over 1,000 Nigerians who have crossed, who were there, and then Poland, about 250 or so there. Budapest, Hungary, similar number, 200 and something. Slovakia is rising rapidly, also around the 200 mark. There's some Nigerians in a place called Sumy, closer to the Russian border. And so I've been in touch with the ambassador, given him some numbers to keep in touch with them, and about 150 of them, and now looking to cross into Russia. And so we've asked the ambassador in Russia to try and get a permit for them to transit Russia, and we're hoping that by Wednesday we'll now start deploying planes to go and start lifting, bringing back the Nigerians. Was that people shouldn't be moving to the borders, that, there are risks. And the advice was to stay in your homes, ideally in basements, and not to be close to windows and so forth. But obviously people have started moving, Ukrainians as well. In fact, in the majority are Ukrainians fleeing, and other nationalities. So yes, there's an element of risk there. But then I also spoke to the Russian ambassador. I said to him, look, listen, we have Nigerians in Ukraine. Your troops are moving in, and we want certain guarantees for our citizens in Ukraine. Of course, they cannot, well, he didn't, he's not in a position, I suppose, but he did argue that they were targeting military installations and not, civilian places of abode and so forth. But, that's not a total reassurance as far as I'm concerned. So, so there will be an element of risk, and there always is with these kind of travel in those circumstances. But but they are quite keen to head into Russia from Sumy in Ukraine, and so we're putting in place, ask the ambassador to please get them transit permits. A huge number. I'm communicating also with the embassies as well, and communicating with individuals that they know. But we have a situation room, and calls are coming. But also, we've directed our embassies to be the focal points for them, because they're the ones on the ground, and we've given them the numbers to call. I've been personally, sending out numbers to various people that have been reaching me directly. Well, they're deeply distressing, totally unacceptable, because it's just beggars belief that in a situation of such crisis, that racism would, rear its ugly head. And this is what I communicated very strongly to the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Ukraine. So, so that's something that we absolutely deplore, and, make clear that we cannot accept. Poland is also, there were some of these videos showing that there could also be some, aspects of discrimination on the Polish side too. So we got in touch immediately with the Polish authorities and told them this is what we're hearing. It's totally unacceptable. Of course, the Ukrainians and the Poles said, that this is not what is supposed to be happening, and this is not what should be happening, that everybody should be allowed to go through. And the Polish authorities told us not only are they allowing everybody to come through, but even those without documents and undocumented, that they're just letting everybody come through. So we put a lot of pressure on them, and that's really what we can do. And the Indians were being interviewed, and they had exactly the same complaints. And if you go online and you look at it, that they were being discriminated against at the border, not being allowed to go. Exactly the same complaints. That's on the side of Indians, So, look, listen. Yeah, these things can never be condoned, and they're totally unacceptable. We saw very distressing scenes, and and as I said, we were very strong with regards to the Ukrainian authorities at the highest level, and also with the Polish authorities.
Welcome back, guys. So here we have it. We have heard from the Minister of Nigerian Foreign Affairs, Onyeama, who has said that Air Peace and Max Air are to begin evacuation of Nigerians who have safely crossed out of the borders of Ukraine. Although there are some Nigerians who are still inside the Ukraine, particularly the Kiev, the capital of Ukraine, but some have been able to cross successfully into neighboring countries. So guys, what are your thoughts? Considering the fact that there was also racism at the borders, which the foreign minister has just said that it won't be condoned by any foreign minister because it was not just done to Nigerians, it was done to other countries like Indians. And also they have come together to say that it will not be condoned. It shouldn't happen in a time like this. So guys, what are your thoughts and comments? The racism at the border, the crisis in Ukraine and Russia, and every other thing. Drop your comment with us in the comment section below. Thank you for staying with us till the end of this video. And as a way of reminder, we are also on Instagram and on Facebook at DJMTV. Also, you can check us out on our website www.djmtv.news. You can also place your advert with us at DJMTV and be rest assured that your business would get to the desired market. Until I come your way with another exciting edition of DJMTV Daily News Update, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
DJMTV. DJMTV.
People don't say no, they don't like us.
Welcome to DJMTV.
DJMTV. DJMTV. DJMTV. DJMTV.
Some of the delegates and ask them questions.
DJMTV. 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 DJMTV.